All right. I'm just seeing if you guys are coming in. I did hop on just a little early, so just checking, making sure everything is good. Hello, hello. It's saying I've got 2 people now. All right. Oh, there's Cece. Hello. Cece, you can hear me? Everything's good? Thank goodness. OBS did an update just before I got on, so FYI, there's a new update for OBS. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Eloise. Thank you. So, you guys, we're going to be doing a stocking stuffer, or a stocking. Hey. All right, so what I'm going to show you guys is how I actually do the carbon copy and put it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and flip you guys down. Yay, and the camera angle is working good. Perfect. Okay, so I've got glitter. We're going to do Jubilee Green and Bright Red. Let me make sure we're still scrolling. Nope, we're not. Okay, hi Diane. Hi Kathy. Hey Sue. So Jubilee Green, Bright Red. I did paint this white 2 times because there's going to be a lot of white coming through, so it's just easier. I did go ahead and paint my edges, but I will still probably do the edges again if it's a red or whatever. And then also we're going to be using black and white and a little dauber, which I'll show you guys how to do the daubers. And of course a paint tray. And so the carbon paper that I get, I reuse my carbon paper. You guys can see we've used this thing quite a few times. I picked my carbon paper up, I think at Office Depot, but you can get it on Amazon, all sorts of places. So what I do is I just line up my page or the paper. So I try to make sure I have a really good thick edge that you can see. So I line up my template to it, flip it over, and then I try really hard not to move this too much. I need to put that down a little bit. And then I just go ahead and throw that carbon paper there. And then I have these little melon stylus little things that I use. I picked these up on Amazon as well. I do have an affiliate links. They are on Rachel's Crafty Corner. And these are in there as well as like the daubers and all of the other kind of stuff that I use if you guys are interested. It's on a Google sheet and it will just kind of tell you what it is. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around my outlines like so. And I just shifted this and I felt it shift. So oops, for some reason that isn't even coloring. Probably because I've used it so many times. Let me use this sheet. I did just paint this too, so sometimes that doesn't work either. Let me try that one more time because I did feel my hand shift. Okay, so once again, flip that over. Oh, am I freezing, you guys? Isn't that little Facebook thing where you tag people for the haunted house? Isn't that so funny? It always gets me on the line, waiting in line, which I hate waiting in line. It drives me nuts. I had to run to Joann's earlier and needless to say, there was a line. I wasn't very happy. Let me make sure this is transferring now. It is, but not as well as what I want it. All right. Well, I'll just darken it up with a pencil so you guys can see it. I'm sorry, guys. I thought this would be good to show you. But it does not want to show very well. Sometimes you do have to let it dry longer, and like I said, that Joann's line took a little bit longer than what I expected, but one of the things that I needed for tonight for Craftastic, I had the wrong thing, and so I needed to run and get a new one. So those of you that are in Craftastic, I'm making faux earrings with the new foil stylist, and I grabbed the wrong leather that it takes for the foil. So I'm not going to be too crazy about these circles just because we're going to be using the dauber, but we'll just kind of get a general idea of what we need for them. So just going around here. Hey Sherry, hey Debbie, I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Hey Linda. I know, I was so annoyed. Yeah, so, and of course the Joann's that's closest to me didn't have it. Michael's was sold out. So I had to go to the Joann's that was a little bit further away. Okay, so I can see the template, you guys can't. Let's see, can you guys kind of see that faintness? It's probably because the paint transferred more than the actual lines did, but you can kind of see it there. So what I'm going to do, just so that you guys can see it better, is I'm just going to take my pencil real quick, do these little outlines, so that you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, it pulled the paint, it took the paint instead of the carbon, which happens when you haven't let it dry long enough, which would be my issue right now. So good thing to know. Patience is a virtue. I should have probably painted this before running to Joann's, but you know how that goes. I'm not going to do the circles just because I can see them. But anywho, I know these lines aren't perfect, but we don't need perfect. I think perfectly straight lines sometimes makes it look too perfect and not really handmade. Just my opinion. But anyhow, you can take that or leave it. I think I might even throw in some lime green. I don't know. I feel like we need one more color. But I know Christmas is like traditional green and red. Okay. There we go. So there is that. Hey Debbie. Hey Teresa. Did I miss Teresa? I think I did. Hi Teresa. You guys, I'm so sorry if I'm missing you. I saw a few comments fly by. Okay, so now you can see what it is we're actually painting. Let me move that out of the way, or I'll have things falling on the floor. And you guys, I tried to fix the dang chair, and I swear there's like no fixing this thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, red. We're gonna go with bright red. I'm gonna use basically a lot of this as backdrop. We're going to put some of this bright red in the little cup here. And I'm going to go in with a 1/2 inch angle brush. So how are you guys all doing since I, told you my craziness? So I'm thinking what we'll do is do the top red and then the heels, the toes and the heels red. And then we'll do green here and then do green stripes and then the red stripes here and then red dots. So it's going to be a little bit busy, but it is a very beginner, so it's going to be pretty simple to do. So what we're going to do is just load our brush. So that's just getting the kind of the tip of it and a little bit up above, and we're just going to go straight across like that. And it will give us a nice good line. This part we don't have to worry too much about. We're looking for coverage. Now another reason, you guys, why I do like to paint the backs, or paint my wood white, is just to give that nice kind of almost primer coat. It kind of makes the, I feel like it makes the color stand out just a little bit more. And then because I don't have lasered edges where it's burnt and it looks black, I go ahead and paint my edges, and that's up to you. You don't have to paint the edges. It's just what I do. And a lot of the times I forget the edges. Oh, how fun, Linda. Hi, Rhea. Yeah, it's been drizzly here. It just stopped raining, so thank goodness. Oh, I imagine, Cece, with the hurricane. Oof. Anybody know how Johnny fared? I haven't seen many posts or anything from her, because I think she was kind of in the line, the thick of it. Poor thing. All right. All right, so I'm gonna first show you guys how I do circles without the dauber, and then we'll do the dauber down here. But for these circles, what I do is I just take my brush, load the brush, and then curl the brush with my hand. And that kind of just makes that perfect little circle. Try not to get my hand in the paint. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Oh, she was on last night? Okay, I must have missed seeing her. Okay, let me flip here. All right, so we will probably have to come in with a second coat. Red is one of those that's a little bit harder to paint. It usually always requires a second coat. So we're just painting in here, and then, like I said, we just loaded the brush, and we're just kind of going right on that edge and pulling the paint. And I used to get such globs and stuff like that. It's kind of a talent to start figuring out your brush and how much is enough and too much. And every now and then I screw up too. But it's okay to go back through with the glob, just kind of clean up your brush a little bit, make sure there's not as much paint, and you can go back over it again, and that helps a lot too. Okay, we're gonna get the toe here. All right, load the brush again. There we go. Just like so. Oh no, am I frozen? Let me know if I'm good, guys. It's showing I'm good here. A couple of tornadoes, oh no. It's true. I live in the basement, so, you know, I'm probably okay most of our tornado watches. I'm like, oh, I guess it's just extra craft time. We get a lot of tornado warnings back here. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little worried today, but then, like I said, the storm let up, so I was thinking we'd probably be okay with service. But because it was teacher, well, it was like, what do you want to call it? Midterms. There we go. Or not midterms, quarter or whatever. We've had, the girls had half day on Friday, and then they have today and Tuesday off. So tomorrow. And yes, they are still home. But yeah, we didn't have to do virtual learning today, so that was nice. But it's been a little tough. Yeah, teacher day off. I don't know. Teacher prep, whatever they call it. I'm like, I need a teacher prep day. I want to be off. Can I send them to you? But we did get news. The way the district is doing it, they're starting everybody by grade levels. So Briley actually gets to go back to school before Haley. And then Haley will go back to school basically December. So Briley will start going back November. And then Haley goes back basically December. November 30th is when she goes back. So I guess it's moving in the right direction, right? Yeah, basically that is what it is. They had a day off. Yeah, they usually always kind of have it around Columbus Day anyways. Just how our district schedule is, but it wasn't because of Columbus Day. They were saying it was more, you know, based on the teacher prep day. But they usually always have Columbus Day off. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the one liner brush. I really can't. You guys, I can't. They'll be going back. I don't know what group they are, so they may be, it's only partial. But hey, it's in the right direction, so I am A-okay with it. So I'm just going to do these red lines. So what we're going to do is just take this liner brush and just follow the lines that I have here. Sounds like the dogs are running above me, so I'm sorry. We have tornado. Tornado dogs, it sounds like. They're coming through. Alright, so a lot of people ask me how I keep my hands so steady. I did start kind of putting my pinky out, and that will help too. When I first started, that helps a lot with keeping a little bit more steady because you kind of are holding your hand more. I don't necessarily do that as much now. But every now and then I do feel like I need to, so it just kind of does it now. I don't really even think about it. But this liner brush, the reason why I picked the one is it pretty much matches when you push down the line that you're going to be creating. So that helps a lot too. So we got there. Did I miss any of your guys' comments? You guys have any comments? Okay. Just making sure I'm catching everything. Sorry, you guys. Also, I have questions after too, if there's anything. All right, so the one thing with doing the liner brushes is they do not hold very much paint, so you will tend to head back to the paint a little bit more. And then yes, I do flip my projects quite a bit. I feel like that helps a lot with being able to keep that steady line. And I have a little bit of carpal tunnel, so that does help with the carpal tunnel as well. All right, one more line here. Move this way. All right, so I can see some splotchy, so we're gonna just head right back over here and hit the centers of these. That's kind of where I can see a little bit more of the paint popping through. And it always seems like to me that second coat is so much easier to paint than the first. All right. If you guys can see, these lines are not perfect. They are not straight. One thing that's really good is we can always clean it up with using our liner brushes or the paint pens, which today I will use the paint pen just to show you guys the difference. I don't typically do, I usually use my liner or my spotter brush. They're called the same thing, it just depends on what company you're going with. And I think I'm gonna do the red line right here, but I'm going to change to just a thicker brush real quick. Yeah, that one will work. So this is a 1/8 angle brush. As you guys remember, I love the angle brushes. I got a little too much on that liner brush, so that's kind of why you saw me working a little bit funny, was I was trying to get that spread out just a little bit. So now I've got a glob right here. We're just going to clean that area up. Like so. Can hear my dogs up there playing. Can you guys? My two fur babies over at the groomer's shivering. Oh, poor babies. Storming like crazy, Teresa. Shoot, where are you at, Teresa? I forget. I'm kind of secretly hoping tomorrow will be good, so we can get the pumpkin patch over with for the girls. I haven't taken them yet. I thought about it this weekend, but going during the weekday, it's a little bit cheaper, so I was hoping because we're off this week, it will be a little bit cheaper. Okay, I'm just gonna grab these little lines right here and throw them down. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm just pulling the lines there. Okay, those lines look good. Let me throw the heater on real quick. Johnny. I was just talking about you, wondering how you were doing. All that hurricane stuff. Okay, so this is a heat gun, just so you know. That's why I said heater. And my hook just fell. Yay! Okay, I'll put it there. Alright, oh, this chair. I even tried to fix it. I don't know, I think we're gonna have to call in, you know, the IT guy, see if he'll fix it for me. Okay, you're gonna leave that alone, and now we're gonna go to the daubers real quick. These, let's see, I need a paper plate or styrofoam plate of some sort. I don't know my words today. All right. So with the daubers, what you're gonna do is get a nice coat on them. You're gonna spin it around, push it in, so you got a good coat going. And then you're gonna take the edge and wipe it clean. And then we're gonna go ahead with the dauber here. Let's go here. We'll do one. And then I'm also going to need a Post-it note. These are your best friend. So we're gonna do one right about there. One right there, one right there, and then we're going to use this, go about right here, and one right there. Grab the paint one more time. So you're going to push down and twist, and then lift up. Push down, twist, lift up. Okay. Okay. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of bubbling. It does go down a little bit, but I've also known if you hit it with just a little bit of air, it does help too. So what I'm going to do is just throw this on just a little bit. And you know what? I forgot to do the circles right there. Whoopsie. It's okay. We can catch those. Alright. So we're going to go one right there, one right there, and we'll grab the Post-it note just in case we go off, and one right there. Take that one more time. Look at these one more time. Oop, I just realized that one I didn't move and I should have. Okay. So we'll get this one more time. Okay. Oh, shoot. Post-it note pulled up the paint. It's okay, we can fix it. Okay, so dauber, I just throw that in the jar. Deal with that later. We'll grab the 1/18 inch brush and we'll just cover this real quick. We'll have to probably come over it a couple of times, but no biggie. The daubers, sometimes in the middle, don't get a really good area, so I will go over that just a little. And we'll clean that up. Sometimes I even will just do this dauber just to get this circle, and then I kind of come back in and fill it in. Whatever you choose there, it totally works. But it does leave a little bit different of a texture when you do use the dauber because you're using that sponge. So just FYI. All right, so I'm gonna leave the red. I know I always try to save the paint, but because we pulled that, I'm gonna keep the red out for just a little bit. All right, so one thing to say with using a heat gun is you do have to keep it on a low, and be careful because if you get it too hot, it will bubble the paint. Just a little disclaimer there. All right, let's get in with some Jubilee green. All right. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a 3/8 angle brush. I'm gonna just get it wet. Oh my gosh, everything is popping off here. Okay. Let's see, did I miss anything? Okay. So we're just gonna go in here. We're gonna loop. So we're just making the little swoops for the holly leaf. Like so. This green is one of my favorites because it's just that perfect Christmas green, but it really, that first coat is really blotchy, and then the second coat, it really cleans itself up really well. So just FYI, when you're using this color, it does look like it's going to be a disaster, but it does clean up really well. So we're just swoop, swoop. So just like that. The paint looks watery. It's actually pretty thick. I can kind of show you. It's pretty thick. It does, if you can see on this leaf, you see how it's kind of splotchy, the first one. That's the one thing I have to say I dislike about it, but you'll get that with a lot of paint. Americana paint you'll get it with too. So I'm just taking the angle brush, kind of curling it and pulling it in. I'm going to grab these edges real quick. Like so. Can you guys see that? So just grabbing this edge. Woohoo! I got way too much paint on there. Okay. I'm going crazy. Okay, I'm just going to run one quick little coat over it one more time. And then we'll wait for that to dry. We'll come up here and and do this one. So we're just going straight across. Like so. And then we'll come back in so you can see how the leaf kind of pulled into the green stripe. But what we'll do is we'll outline that so then everything will come back together and you'll be able to see that that pops and everything else. Okay, oh, this edge. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go in between these little stripes here with the green. This is going to kind of make this pop. Ooh, I'm loving the color. I was getting a little worried that I didn't have enough here, but I really think this is going to turn out cute. And I'm not too worried about this running over into that line because we do have that line going as a green stripe as well. So if you're wondering why it's looking a little funny, that's why. And then I will go back to that liner brush to do this edge. I'm a little got too big of a brush for right here. And it is okay to switch brushes. When you're beginning, I used to use a million brushes until I kind of got the hang and the hold of my brush. You definitely want to do that. All right, so this looks a little bit dry, so I'm going to run real quick. We're going to do this. And get these leaves really good here with that second coat. And I'll show you how much better it looks with that second coat, even with the paint still wet. Look how that leaf, you see that? Looks so much better than that side. So that's where I said that second coat with this particular color looks so much better when you get that second coat on, because at first you're kind of wondering like, oh no, what did I do? And then you get that second coat on and it just looks great. Thank you. Okay. Let's get, whoop. Thought I picked up some paint, but I guess I didn't. We'll get this edge real quick. There we go. All right, these are still a little too wet, so I will just go in with the liner and then we can come back and touch those up. All right, so liner brush, it's a one liner. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is that Delta brush that I was telling you about that I picked up at Target, and their kit was awesome. It came with a cute little paint palette, and oh, I did. You can see where I grabbed that paint. It came with a cute little paint palette, and it had quite a few brushes. And some of the brushes that they have are seriously some of my favorite. And they've held up really well. I want to say that the little kit was maybe 10 bucks. But I mean, it had a ton of brushes. So it's definitely one that I would recommend. The other ones, like I said, that I would recommend are the Crafter's Choice or Royal. It's the same brand, it just depends on where you go. Crafter's Choice is Michael's, and Royal is Joann's, and I think Hobby Lobby has Royal as well. They look like this. Or there's a blue one, I like those. The blue or the purple one, I like both. And I also really have liked the Folk Art brand ones from Walmart. I'll show you what those look like too. Those are these black ones that you see me use a lot. And then, oh, I should show you this. This is amazing. This right here, you guys see this little tower? This is from the dollar store. It is awesome, and it holds all of my brushes perfectly, even my toothbrush. I use that for painting and doing speckling. I'll have to show you, we'll do a project where I'll show you the speckle technique. It's pretty fun. It might actually be cute to do speckle on the little socks. I'll have to think about that. I thought I would do it glittery though. Hi Charlotte, how are you? Thank you, Sue. Alright, so we're just using that liner brush. Getting this little edge here. I am going to have to definitely hit this with the heat gun. Oops. We'll get that fixed up. See my boo-boo? Let's see, can you see that right there? We'll get that fixed up and we won't even tell. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Okay. Use that in a second. Let me throw some heat on here. The humidity's high since it was raining today. Oh good, I'm glad. And then you guys, the heat gun that I have, I actually got this from Harbor Freight about a year ago. I love the thing. I have burnt myself with it, so do be careful. But just like I said, remember if you do use a heat gun to use the lower heat, the low volume, so it's not as hot. Okay, gonna just grab these stripes one more time here. That. Guys, I may have not even had to have went to that liner brush now looking at it, but it's okay. Better to be safe than sorry. And like I said, that second coat for me always seems to just go a little bit faster. Okay. Now remember, we had that boo-boo down there where we got way offline. But we're not going to worry about it because the liner is going to catch that. Alright, I'm going to touch up this red just a little bit on these dots. So we're just going to get this real quick with the red here. We're going to go in. grab this real quick. Like so. I'm just kind of touching up the centers. Like I said, sometimes when you use the daubers, it doesn't get the center as well as what I like for coverage. I mean, it's good enough, but I want it just a little bit more. Let me get this brush cleaned out good enough. There we go. There. Get that patch one more time. Alright. See, I even messed up over there. I got a little bit more red. And then I had a little bit of white powder on my hands, so we're just gonna throw that. Always have stuff on there. Alright. So now, let me throw this extra paint back in the jars here. I don't know why it just shook that. Habit, I guess. Well, I guess we were going to put glitter there anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about the little patch that we pulled up. Okay, now we are going to get the Posca pens. And it's going to show you the different sizes that they have. That one. Okay. So this one is like the super, super fine. I don't use that very often. Every now and then when I really need to do a detail or a really small line, when I'm writing, I will use that. This one is a little bit bigger, if you can see that line. And this one is the 3.24 or 0.7 millimeter. That one I will use quite a bit. This one is the 0.9 to 1.3 millimeter. It depends on how hard you push down. So it's about the same as the other one, if you can see. And then this one is the 1.8 to 2.25 millimeter. And this one is really good for when you're writing those big bulked out words, like the bulked out sections. So for tonight, I think I'm going to use this guy. So we're going to make sure it's primed. We're going to just hit the board here. I use these foam boards now from the dollar store is where I get those. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over our lines. Actually, you know what? This one's too fine point for me. I'm going to actually go to the 0.9.13. Okay, so that's nice and primed. And we're just going to go like that. We'll get the leaf. See, this is where I said that the leaf will come back through that line. So these are just using the paint pens. So with the berry here, I do the lines. And just try not to push too hard because you'll start getting flicks of paint. So that is one little technique with the markers that you do kind of have to get used to. But see, even my leaves had a little bit of boo-boos, and now we can't see them. We'll do that. I also like to do little zigzags on my things. I think it just kind of adds a little character. Some people do dots or other little lines or whatever. It's just something that I kind of picked up that I do. There we go. Just needed to prime it. It was getting a little bit dry so you guys could kind of see where it bounced right there and there wasn't any. Oh, Linda, you're fine. Taking your dog. Oh, after PT. Ooh. Hopefully a good PT and not a painful one. Sometimes those can be real rough. My oldest daughter was a toe walker, so we had to do braces and had to do a lot of PT. And she was one brave girl because, wow, some days it looked so painful. All right. So with the circles, we're just going to outline those circles. Just like so. So you can see how the outlining totally brings your project to life again. Because sometimes when you start painting, it kind of dulls it out and you don't see all that detail again. But when you start pulling this all in, and it's kind of like putting the lines back on after you've colored, like in a coloring book, it really pops and shows it again. Now typically for me, now I do most of this with the paintbrush instead of doing the marker, but there's nothing wrong with doing the marker. I'm just used to using my liner brush to do this. Need to prime. So this is how you can tell if you need to prime. I don't know if you can see it on camera. See how it kind of drug a little bit on that corner? That's when you know you need to prime your marker again. As it kind of just doesn't give that full feed. There was a reason why I did that line there. I was trying to kind of get that curl. To the stocking there. Right there. And then our little boo-boo that we had right there, we're just going to cover that up with the line. So now no boo-boo. Do a little one right there. Kind of go with the line and fill that in. So we could do little cute lines like this on our dots. just to give a little more personality to it. Like so. Let me see. That one's a big guy. I'm trying to see if I've got a white. I don't have a white in that skein, so I'm gonna go to the liner, which then I guess you can see what a lining brush looks like. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the white. Whoa. And grab my liner brush, which I'm using a 0 spotter or 0 liner. It's the same. Minutes ago, I sent the non-handy dandy man. Oh, yeah. Good luck with that. Oh, yeah. How is your knee? What's going on there? Okay, so I'm just going to hit a little bit with the white there. And we're going to kind of do almost the same as where we hit it with the black. Just to give a little fun, a little pizzazz. And I'm barely letting this liner brush touch. You can kind of see how that's looking there. And see how the white just kind of gives that extra little pop, I feel like. And when you are doing the liner, one of the better things to do is have your paint a little bit runny. This is apple barrel paint, and you can kind of see in the tray how it moves. Appleberry paint is a little more watery, but it does do a great job for white, for the coverage. I did 2 coats with this, and that's how this turned out. And then thinking, how cute is that? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm ad-libbing a little bit. But I'm thinking this is kind of cute. Just to give a little more fun there. Yep, a little something. And you know what? I think we're gonna, so I'm also gonna show you, you can use the back of your brush. You can put little dots. Just to kind of give it a little fun, little flair, something different. Just to add some fun, right? Thank you, guys. Oh, he overachieved. Well, look at him go. Now you don't have to paint him. That's awesome. He gets extra points. Okay. Let's see. I gotta make sure we're on time. Okay, we're doing okay on time. So I'm just going to add the Mod Podge right here, and we're gonna add the glitter on. Let me throw this on just to get this white here a little more dry. Lisa, you are so fine. Thank you guys. Because you know me, guys, I have to have a little bling to my signs. I love the glitter. But, I mean, if you wanted to stop here, this would be a perfect place to stop. You're going to tackle the drill. Good luck. Thank you, Marin. All right. So FYI, styrofoam and glitter cling to each other, so don't use it. So I have a little bit of just like tracing paper, or parchment paper works really good too. A wax paper will stick, so don't use wax paper. Unless you want your glitter to stay on there. So because these are bigger areas, I am just going to add glitter straight to it. I like these bigger bottles, or the littler bottles of Mod Podge that you can get at the dollar store. You can refill them. I say for $1, it's not that big of a deal to me. But if you're trying to go for, you know, quantity, you can do that as well. And I just like the little ones because there's not as much big bottles going on. And I can have a little bit more control, like here. So we're just going to throw some glitter on here. So there's that. And that did just take all of our work off, but I will show you how you can get that back. The painting stuff. All right. Okay. I'll just go in here. I also, you guys, make sure that you're not using your nice expensive brushes. Just get the cheap brushes for doing the Mod Podge because it will ruin your brush. Okay, one more time. Look at this side. I may just have enough Mod Podge on here that I don't have to grab anymore. Look at us. Lucky me. Okay. And then I will show you how to get your glitter back, or your detailing lines back. Sorry, I have the brush in my mouth and I realized you guys can't see me. I didn't put the two on. All right. I'm gonna throw that in there. And then what we're gonna do is just get the back of the brush here. We'll put it back on here. Go right here. And you can kind of see, if I can show you guys, you can kind of see the lines popping through. So it's not completely covered. So all we're going to do is just kind of go right where the lines are and lightly scratch those lines. You can repaint over the glitter if you choose to, but you're wasting, clogging up your marker. So I feel like this is a pretty good option. See how it pops that back out so you can see it? It doesn't scratch it too much. You can still see exactly what you're doing. And really, nobody's gonna really see that the glitter's not there. Because it still leaves a little bit of it that you can't tell. See, and now it's back so you can kind of see that. Sorry, I know the camera and the lights take it up, but you see how you can see it a lot more now, those detail lines. So, anywho, so then what I do is I get the triple, 3 times Rust-Oleum or Krylon, it's triple coat, non-yellowing poly, and I spray over it. I have used the glitter paint before. I just feel like it's really globby, and I particularly did not care for it, but I have used it before. Thanks, Cece. Fancy, fancy. And then I also spray my backs, just so you don't see that. I spray it with black paint. It just kind of cleans it up and makes it look nicer. But yeah, so if you guys want the template, or if you guys want the blank, I will get this listed probably tomorrow. And you can pick up the template and paint, or the cutout and paint along with me. And if you want to buy it fully painted, it will be listed as well tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And then let me know if you guys have any questions. Like I said, this one's a pretty basic painting idea. You could go a little bit more crazy, do some shining, you know, but I figure for a stocking, you kind of want it basic, you know. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. So, I guess you guys should see my face maybe one time. Sorry, guys. Whoops. That's my preview. So, here's it this way so you can see it that way. So, how big it is. It's as big as my dang head. Maybe a little bigger. Yep, no problem. Sorry guys about the crafty corner part. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. And I will see you later for Craftastic. If you're in there, I will be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Cheryl. Yes, Charlotte, definitely could check back and watch again. There'll all be replay. All right, guys. Bye, guys.